Hi guys, quick intro, me, hey, Frankie V, let's carry on. Okay, so we're going to carry on from where we left off as to the facade, building of the facade for this section of our map, which is the metro station. I call it block 42, and what we're going to be doing is carrying on by attaching the outside part of the facade that is, let's say, a companion to the interior of our metro station, and interlock the two to hopefully get the type of lighting effect that we want. Now, as I mentioned, sealing in our enclosures, I always find that the lighting result becomes a little bit more predictable as we move along. But since switching to forward rendering, as we see, as I look at in the interior here, it is behaving as to expectations, which is what we're looking for. We're not, we have, you're always going to get some kind of error or something's not quite right for whatever reason as part of the building process because, well, it's not finished. So until we get it finished and we can get proper lighting inside and proper lighting outside, we're going to get and proper materials and textures and what have you as part of our surface development. Then we have a degree of expectation that it's not going to look the way we want. Now, this gives me an opportunity to kind of demonstrate the importance of materials. A little bit sideways, tip, hit, tip, so forth. First of all, we changed to forward rendering, so we're getting some, there is some material work that has to be adjusted. I'll have a chit chat with Happy Day, who has already resolved this as being a problem, but I tend to ignore the solutions until I need to incorporate them. It's, my brain can only hold so much of our information at any given time. And as the back here, there's another door here. It's reacting in a manner that I expected. It's being blocked by light. So I don't know why this door here is getting any kind of lighting. If I hide it, stop that. If I hide it, this kind of lighting here indicates there's some kind of light leakage going on here, and I don't know why, because this volume of space is sealed off. If I move backwards, it's really weird lighting behavior. I don't know if that's forward rendering or not. But let's look at the material, how that can impact our lighting solution. I used a light bluish material, obviously. So let's change that to kind of all whitish color. So we'll just zoom that all the way down. We always want to have a kind of a tint offset. Like all white is not really, it's not natural. 100% all white. There's no, you never see that in real world. Lighting is not white. It has a degree of tint to it that we can spend all day discussing that in theory, but let's go ahead and apply that, and that should light up our area here a little bit better. And we wait for it. It has to be recompiled. It's a bit pokey, and for some reason it's not updating. It's updating. Oh, that's our that's our outer shell. Oh well, we're going to have to put that back, aren't we? Select our block, find our material. Stupid me. Stupid me. This is it. Okay. It's kind of bluish, which is really weird because it's not conveying to this. Let's do a quick sideways. Yeah, okay. We need to have, it'll adjust itself once we put a proper working light into this area. Yeah, I'm not going to play around with that. As I said, it's a degree of expectation. See, we got some weird lighting effect taking place there. So we won't worry too much about the problems. Okay, anyways, today's project, we're going to finish tubbing in this area with by creating a facade that surrounds it. In the next episode, I'll take this building over here and make this a 100% a facade replacement, so we can kind of demonstrate the next step as far as scene management goes by separating various elements into much more workable on an individual basis package. But let's get on with the show. We'll go over to our 3ds Max, and I already have it set up. As you can see, we're missing some various different elements of this piece here, but we have enough information here to actually create this. So what we're going to do is create a simple build material, standard, blah blah blah, a plane in our viewport, and we're going to do the building. Oops, don't do that. Do this. We're going to build this the same way we kind of built our mesh-based collision. We're going to move that and align it. Move it. And we certainly can. The critical part, of course, is making sure that we have a good solid interior, not facing exterior. Okay, that's, we got some building to do, don't we? Okay, so, sorry, we're back to watching grass grow. I apologize, but it is part of the process. Turn off snaps, dummy. Okay, let's get this down to here. And this is always interesting. And I could blast ahead, and I could just go heads down and just focus on modeling this out 100%. Whoops. Okay, let's line things up so we're happy. I got my fingers crossed that this is going to be a fast and easy process. We got a bit of a zigzag requirement here. Okay, so we select our edges. I hope this is not going to be as long as the previous episode. But as I mentioned, we are actually building. This is actually in use development. I am doing this at the same time as I would be doing this for the purpose of building this for Resurgence. So you are party to the crime, so to speak. Okay, let's get that over here. And I think we're good. And we'll extrude that down there. And how are we going to... Okay, we got a little bit of a weird type of connection we have to make here. And we'll scale that down. I could use the alignment tool, but this is just as, well, sometimes it's faster, not always. Okay, so finish that, and we're getting our brain into modeling mode again. Okay, instead of welding that, we'll just go ahead and collapse it, and we'll extrude that so we match up with the other end here. And we'll connect that. See, we got two vertices selected, so we'll collapse that. It should say vertex blah 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 selected, and we'll bring that edge, and we'll bring that across. I think I have to reboot. Starting to get some really weird behavior, which is usually a strong indication that you're you got something that's playing with you. Okay, we'll bring that in, butt it up. Okay, our original wall is not planar. Okay, that's coming along just fine. We need to actually back that up because I need to complete that across. as I mentioned, probably on more than one occasion, what I'm attempting to do is to tub this all in as a single facade that is free from any kind of lighting intrusion. Collapse. Okay. And actually, I kind of did that wrong. I should be doing it this way. So I can bring this down to this level. Select that edge. Oh, come on. Yeah, something weird is going on here. Bring that down. And now we can take this edge. Line that up. Pull that down to there. Select all. Hit it with the weld. We'll yaw that up high enough that we're going to get everything. Select our boundary tool so we can double check to make sure everything's welded. Okay, red is where it's supposed to be, and that gives us this side to finish off. Line that up. Are we lined up there? Yeah. Okay, so we can continue down. And select our vertice tool. Okay, so we check that. And yeah, okay, we're looking good. Okay, front. Okay, we need to drag this below the reference line, and we can go ahead and box in the bottom. Now, usually I cheat. At this stage, I would probably just cap it. Okay, so we got that. We need to kind of do a drag so we can seal that corner in. And okay, we got two edges there to deal with. Okay, this is going to be a little bit of cheating going on, because we need to tie those across now. Oh, I see how I can do that. Okay, select edge. Let's do this again. Instead, we will bring that to there. Oh, bloody hell. Okay, hold on. Okay, we'll select that face, and we'll select this extra edge. Okay, we're not in perspective view, which gets, you know, I can only handle orthographic for so long. Okay, so there we go. There we go. Okay, we're going to do the other edge. Then we're going to cheat and create a tris. You know, if I was, since it's just at the bottom, we're not going to be too overly concerned about maintaining edge loops. We're a little bit more concerned about making sure everything is sealed in. Okay, we got any other funky edge loops that's going to cause us problems? Nope. Okay, carry on and bring that over to there. And okay, showing off some tools at the same time. We got a target weld tool that we can just take our vertice and target weld them. Okay, they were too close for it there. Select that. Select the weld, and that should be able to select our boundary tool, and oh, stop that. Do a Control A. No, okay, we're in good shape here. And of course, we're going to need our, oh, right, I reset everything because I was having some problems with issues with creating something as simple as a simple primitive plane. Okay, let's give that a color, and we're going to animate it just to kind of show off how I, once again, how I make a modeling material. We'll select our auto key and we'll just set that to 0, and we have a modeling material. Okay, decisions. We need this to match up with the block behind it. So that's going to require some editing. So we'll bring out 40, what was it, 42? Where's 42? Okay, we're not in order here. So 42 is right there. And we're going to, oh, okay. Kind of lost 42. Use SOBU. 42. Where's 42? Maybe it landed up in a different layer. Let's do an unhide all. And go hunting. Yeah, there's 42. I can kind of see it. Hide selection. Okay, block 42 is in 42. Yeah, okay. You know, I might have to reboot. Hide everything. Come on. Go back to hiding everything. Yeah. Oh dear. Okay, we had the auto key on. That's why. Okay. I think we might have just animated our way out of... okay, hide selection. Yeah, there it is. Okay. Okay, we're back to normal. We're actually need to take the reference, hide that as a selection. Let's see what we got. Okay, if we take that and hide it, there it is. It finally shows up. Something weird is going on. F3. Okay, what I want to do is butt that in directly with the with 42. Okay, isolate that. We'll clone that. As a copy, and then we'll hide it. We'll do a hide selection, and we'll bring this up, and I want the outer part to I want this part here to extrude through the to the outer part, so I can see what the heck I'm doing. Extrude. Okay, and that. This is all going to be junked out later on, of course, so we're not too concerned about trashing it. Unless we made it an instant copy, then we're kind of hooped. Okay, unhide all, and isolation maybe, and isolation. And we got things kind of lined up a little bit better. Okay, we're going to change our mode here a bit. Configure, and shaded selection with edges, shaded selected, edge faces. Oh boy, is it edge faces? Yeah, there we go. Okay, so it shows edges. And we can start lining things up a lot better. And I want a perfect one-to-one match to our metro. So I'm going to use this as a guide. Oop. Okay. We're watching grass grow. Select this. Honestly, this is about as hard as it gets. Simply because we want to align the two parts together. And we want to reference. Okay, so how do we want to divide this? Okay. We will do, I know I have one door over there, so we'll go edge loop, ring, connect, and line it up. Okay, I want our front view, and we want to be really dial this in as close as we can. Okay, and we'll select that, we'll do a connect, and I want to bring that over here. Okay, I know I have two loops over here. I can realign now. Oh man, honestly something's going on. Now, best practice, of course, is to always be playing in the perspective view, so everything looks proper as to alignment. But I always generally once I have dialed in where, oh, come on. Yeah. I'll see if I can muddle through this. Okay, so this is done by itself. Okay, connect that. I could work faster, but then I can't talk. Okay, we have an edge here. It's kind of looks like it's not where it's supposed to be. I know this is probably where the platform is on the other side. See? So, I'm not too overly concerned if we're talking about a few units different. You know, we want to keep our lines, edges at this stage, perpendicular. Say, for example, down at the bottom down here. Okay, and we want to line that up. And we want to line that up at the bottom of the of our inner metro. Okay, and we need one more edge loop, do we? Yeah, we do. Okay, we need that to be for the doors. Something I noticed is the actual doors themselves are not squared off. They're not equal size. So at some point I am going to correct that by using a proper door proxy and align the doors up. Off screen, so I'm not doing everything on screen and taking up all you guys' valuable time. Okay, so there we are, and we go ahead and take that, and take that, and say bye-bye. And that gives us somewhat of an exterior shell. Now we need to kind of double check that, I guess, by doing changing the properties, the object properties. Okay, we'll select to backface call, so we can see that Indeed, if we get rid of this now, I don't think we need this. Okay, we're going to do something a little bit destructive, so we're going to do a hold. This will hold this in a special file, and we'll delete that out so we can see what's going on here. Okay, so how we're going to go about making sure that this gets attached to the inner. We have the outer, but now we need the inner to this. So we want to match this up as much as possible with end isolation. End isolation? Oh, we want to line that up properly with block 40. Uh-oh, okay. Unhide all? No. Okay, did we? Nope. Sometimes I make an inadvertent reference copy, and what happens when you do that is you basically destroy the original. If you delete the reference, you also delete the original. Hide selection. Okay, so what we want to do now, okay, this is the exterior, so we're aligned with the exterior, but we want to create an inner that aligns up with the outer, so everything kind of butts into one another. So we obviously have some level of modeling once again to do, which I will do off screen, so tell you what I'm going to be doing. There's our shell. We made a shell like we did before, and that's the outer. It's now outer inner, so we need the inner amount. And as you can see, it's already getting weird on us. But we have, I think, enough here that I can align those properly as to making sure that they have a proper fit. That gets really twitchy, so I'll do that off screen, and then when we between episodes here, and then we'll be able to see how this is connected up. But we'll go ahead and convert this over to a simple poly object, and we need to do some UV mapping. I didn't do it properly on 42, and paid the price for it with some really weird kind of result. So I'll go ahead, convert this over to editable poly again, so that bakes the UV map in, and we can set our light map channel to channel 2, which is channel 1 in Unreal 4. Open up, and I usually do mapping, flatten mapping. For the UV mapping, 9 times out of 10, I just use the auto map, because it literally lays the map out. I think it's already said that it lays it out by percentage, face percentage, so one side is equal to the other, to the other, to the other. So there's a kind of a one-to-one correlation, so we're not having one piece too small, another piece too big, etc., etc. Okay, convert over to editable poly. Okay, well, let's make sure that we are in block 40, and we're not. Unhide all. Nope. Somehow 40. Yeah, see, that's supposed to be in 40, so we need to move that into block 40 and add selection to new parent, and we select block 40 folder. It disappears on us, and ta-da. Okay, interlocking is always fun, not, because we want proper alignment and proper thickness between the two of them. So that is going to take that is it's a little bit more than watching grass grow. So we'll go ahead, select our box here, our facade, and I'll call it block 40. Honest, things will get a little bit more interesting once we get past the basic principles of building a proper facade. This is technically the most difficult process that I'm doing here right now. So hopefully it will get better. Okay, we need to be in our source directory for our FBX, and that's block 40. 40, and I could do everything this part off screen and make life simple, but it is, I just felt that it was rather important. The hard part for me is the talking. Okay, block 40, there's our blocks, but we need to establish it in our mesh, into our clean folder, we can call it, new folder, BLOCK 40. So we keep everything nice and separate as to what we'll be doing very soon. Divide and conquer, I guess we could call it. And where's my block? There's block 40. No, that's not in. Is that not in my source? Okay, where am I? Block 40. Oh, I know. I didn't create a folder for it. Just a second, guys. I'm going to do that over here. I want my folders to match what I'm working on, so there's a one-to-one correlation as to how things are going to turn, what you see here. So block 40 is going to be in block 40 folder, and we have everything kind of matching up, and we're not getting lost in a whole bunch of different assets as work in progress. Okay, import, drag, drop, and reset. And that's looking good. That is looking good. Yeah, okay. Hide that for a second. And we'll... Okay. Okay, we always have the reference in our folder here, so we can actually delete that. We can always bring it back in again, and that is pretty good as far. That's pretty darn close. Hide that, hide the door, and we can see this gap in between the two of them. I'm going to fix that so that when we come back for the part 2 of our facade process, where I take this building here and make it completely 100% a facade element, and as being a facade element, I'll use that to further on along on our course towards completion of getting all the buildings all facaded ready, and work the UV mapping, getting the lighting right, getting the edging between buildings correct, so everything kind of butts up. See, we're not really fully butted up there, and we got holes in the buildings and what have you. So in the end, when we press the build button, we're going to get a really nice lighting solution as our base, and then we can move forward from there and still have access to the original art as a means of reference if we need it, and we can, with a relationship to a connecting relationship as to connecting the dots, because we can select this and we can always see that, okay, this is block 40, so we can go into our mix down here, into our blocks, and get back to our reference and continue on from there. Okay, guys, we'll see you in the next episode, and I'm going to have this all cleaned up, and probably some sort of clean build in some aspect, I would say. Enough talk. Leave. Bye.